Hello guys, on the last tutorial I just set the player role on here, the player 1, player 2, player 3 and player 4 role. And we can see here player 3 has the number 1 role, means he is the killer, and then player 4 is the detective, and then player 1 and 2 is the citizen. So we want to make the player 3 who is the killer, and he is the killer, the player 3, to kill when he met and then he press action button, he will kill the citizen. Let's start. So first what I'm going to do here is to set up the key action. So I'm going to kick the old player and then create a new variable on the begin step. Key action means he's doing something. For detective, he will count the killer. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to keyboard check down. And then same goes for the player 2. I'm going to use S button. And then for the player 3, I'm going to use IJKL K. Then for the player 4, I'm going to use TGFH G. So we have set up the player kill key, and then we want to make if it's meeting, if the player 1, if the killer touching the citizen and then press the action key, then he will kill. So let's start. On here, on the player parent, I think player parent object, on the step event, this is movement. So I'm gonna arrange this by hashtag region. And then on the last of this is hashtag and region. So what I can do here is to hide it. Name this movement. So that's it. So it will not cause mess. Before I forgot, we need to make a role for every player. So we need variable definition on the O player, variable definition, and then set the variable, add variable player, variable player equal to 1, and then same goes for the player 2. I'm gonna create on the variable definition variable player equal to 2, and then on the player 3 variable definition player equal to 3, and then for the last one on the old player 4 variable definition add a new variable called player equal to 4. So on here, on the old player parent, on the step event, I'm gonna check if it is the player 1, player equal to 1, and global.p1 role, and we want to check if the player 1 role is the killer, equal to 1. 1 means killer. I want to check our note here. 1 killer, 2 detective, 3 and 4 citizen. First, what I'm gonna do is, if the player equal to 1, we want to check the player 1 first, and he's clicking the action key. So key _ action And then what I'm gonna do here is, if the player 1 is the killer, if global dot p1 role equal to 1, what I'm gonna do here is, he's the killer, and then I'm gonna copy this and then paste down here. Here's the detective, and then copy this and then paste this down here. Here's the citizen. If he's the killer, maybe that's it. The role is 1, and then detective role is 2, citizen role is 3 or 4. I think that's it. Or the global player 1 role is equal to 4. So if he's the killer, and if it is meeting the on the XY coordinate, the O player 2, this is touching the player 2, and then I think if it's touching the player 2 and the player 2 is global, that player 2 role is not, notice that this is same as, and this is not 2, means if the killer can't kill the detective, so this is not work. The killer will not kill the player 2 if the player 2 is the detective. So on here, with player 2 instance underscore destroy, you want to destroy the player 2 if he's not the detective. So same goes on the thing on here. Okay, on here same goes for the player 3 and 4. And then for the player 3, if the player 3 role is not detective, so the player 3 will destroy it. Same goes on the player 4. And that's it. And then if he's detective, but I'm gonna do this later. And then if he's citizen, you can't do editing because you didn't have power. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy all of this and then paste it down here for the player 2. And then if the player 2 is the killer and he's touching the player 1, I think this is O player. Then I'm gonna change this O player to O player 1, and then okay, player 3 and player 4. Then this is player 2. Then I'm gonna delete this. So I'm gonna copy all of this for the player 3 and player 4. This is for player 3. Player 3 goal is 1, and then he's touching the player 2, and then the player 3. So this is player 4. For the player 4, if the player 4 is the killer, oops, player 4, oops, player 4, and then he's just touching the player 2. And then this is 4. Okay, let's test this. Press F5. And then what we can see here is player 3 is the killer, and then player 4 is the detective. So this is player 3, and then this is player 4. As you can see, when I met the player 1 here, when I press the action key, then he kills it, and then he can't kill the player 4 because the player 4, yes, because he's the detective, and then he killed the player 1, the player 2. Okay, that's it for the killer.